What's up, guys? We are back with part number 2 of my castle rebuilding series. So what I did basically on the off time is I farmed up a little bit of life force, I put in all of my traps, and I also had to move around a few of the rooms. So if you remember from last episode, this room was more up towards the front, this room was down in one of these areas, this room was like at the front right here, and this room was like over here. I don't know. I switched around a couple of the corner rooms to make the traps work a little bit better and also make the castle as a whole seem to work a little bit better. I had this group right here. If you guys remember, I was struggling to put in a good spot over here because these traps weren't up snug to the wall. So I basically switched it over to this room. And in order to do that, I had to move some other things around to make everything work the way I want it to. So basically, this is how we have our castle up so far. We have this that actually needs to have a 5-point unit in it. I could throw in a Defendatron or throw in another Stairmaster. I'm not sure which one I want to do yet. Probably a Defendatron, to be honest. Let's stick with what works and do some testing when it's not close to the competition time. Alright. So we have a lot of different boxy areas that we can fight in. As you look through this castle, you're basically seeing that people have to fight these units in very small areas, right? There's very small safe zones where you're not getting hit by and you're not having a lot of pressure from traps. And so what we want to do is with these zones, we want to put in our own space control creatures that will force them to have to dodge around and hopefully take more damage from traps. That's the idea of this castle. Everything is basically a small zone. And the places that have larger zones like this, I'll probably leave them empty unless I absolutely have to, because I have extra defense points available. So the first thing that I'm going to do is see if this room works, because this was the problem that I was having. I really wanted to put in the Dr. Skull and see how I could make it work. This is going to be this room, so basically I need to make it so that there is a pull here that you cannot avoid. This trap is a little far away, in my opinion, from where I'd like it to be. See, there's this safe zone here that I don't want this safe zone to be here, and I'm wondering if I can do anything to fix that by either moving this over. That's as far over as I can get that, it looks like, which seems odd. I don't know why. Oh, because I'm hitting that trap, duh. Okay. There's not really any other areas I can go with this unless I move this trap over one, which screws everything else up. So I don't want to do that. This trap is okay, I guess, here. The thing that I want is really to try to make this work the way I want it to here. It took me a while to set this up before, if I remember correctly. Basically, I'm trying to pull a large amount of groups here, a large amount of creatures here, and I wanted them to fight them kind of in this, like, I want them to pressure them towards the Dr. Skull that I'm going to have. But instead, they're probably going to fight it back here, kill them all with a volley around. Maybe in this area, that would probably be the best bet for me. I have to think about what's going to happen, right? And I have to think about where I want these creatures to die and what the attacker would do. So if they aggro this here, they're going to stand in this safe zone, generally right here. If I have a bunch of spiders that are going to leap on you, they probably want to kill them as they're coming through this choke, so the volley would get dropped right here, which would kill the majority of them here, I think. Because I think they throw out their small webs first, and then they jump onto you. If all of them jump onto you, then I would have... I can remove this Snotter, and I would have something like 700 damage on the person, just from trash mobs, which is quite high. I'm hoping that these things don't cost a ton of money, because I only have 30,000 to work with. Okay, they're only I actually have to upgrade them, though, to level 30. Let's see how much that upgrade is before I throw up down the creatures. 17,000, I can do that. And that'll increase their damage by another 40. They were already doing about 100 damage. They'll probably do like 120, 130 now, when you factor in resistances of heroes. Alright, and then we need to throw them in. And so I think these are probably the best creature to use with this. I don't need a ridiculous amount, like they're 2 defense rating. I could have the Dr. Skull raising a few more units if I used 1-point defenses. But I want the creatures to have the opportunity of actually dealing some damage as well. Alright, so that was all that I could afford? Is that what happened? Spider, I can afford one more. I can make a little bit more money available to me by selling off a few creatures. I already did that a little bit, but I can sell a few more if I need to. I need at least one Dr. Skull. I could sell off one Zeke for 8,000. Let's do that. I probably won't use a Peat Polymorph, but I'll keep it just in case. Do I have any Mega Muttons? I think I sold those. I probably won't use Explodifiers, but I might use them in a different time of my castle. Maybe sell off a Jimbo. How much is that? 8,000. Mr. Boom Boom. I still actually could use Mr. Boom Boom's. I don't know. Vamps, I probably won't use these for a very long time until they get changed, and also Stab Assassins, I'll sell off a couple of those. That'll give me some money. Alright. I don't think I have any normal spiders here. Okay. So back to the summoning portal. That is the Potion Brewery summoning portal. Alright. So there's my spiders. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 spiders? Yeah, 9 spiders is 18 and then 2. So 9 spiders at about 100 damage per pounce. If they don't kill them before they leap onto you, in this zone here, they're going to take enough damage where I'm going to be pretty much satisfied with the creatures damage themselves. So I think that's okay. We'll delay them as long as possible by letting them stare at the wall here. I could separate them up a little bit so they don't all get hit by volleys, but then by separating them all up like that, they won't die clumped, and then the Dr. Skull will do less. So this might be something that I need to test a little bit. Probably, I could do it. I don't really want to run my castle right now, like, to be honest. I'll give it some time beforehand. I want to just finish this up because I only have a couple hours before the competition goes live. So we'll see what happens. This is going to be kind of a... I'm going to be doing a lot of tweaks during the competition. It's going to be more for replays than actually trying to win it, but we'll see what I can do. Alright, so where's my Dr. Skull? I don't want my summoning portal for this. I want my other thing. Alright, Dr. Skull. Let's throw him in here. Doesn't really matter where he is. We probably want to delay him as much as possible, I would say. Actually, I'm not sure on that. You can also hope that... I'm actually almost guaranteeing that some of the people that attack me in this competition will kind of try to... Hold on, let me see if I can get this to work properly. This was very difficult when I did it before, to actually make it so that you can't skip it. There it is. Okay, that's the spot. But this one can be skipped right here. I'll have to fix that with something. I could just throw in another Snotter, to be honest. It doesn't matter as long as... Because it's a Dr. Skull, I don't care what the creature is, so it's okay. So we have this Dr. Skull. We want to have a Defendatron on him, obviously. The movement speed of a Defendatron is very slow, I believe. The movement speed of a Dr. Skull is medium, question mark? Okay, he's very slow as well. So they're both very slow. As long as they have the correct facing, they should stick together. To be honest, I want the Dr. Skull to be a little bit in front, so we'll do that. And maybe face him downwards. And that should get him going a little bit quicker. I don't think that he needs a different facing, actually, to be able to get in front. He's going to be there before him, but we'll do something like that, and I'll test it once before I go to sleep or something. Alright, that should be good. We have 2 more points available. Let's throw in... I guess Snotters. They're my highest damage dealer. I don't know. Because I haven't upgraded anything, really, for at 1 point units. Alright. We'll do this. Okay. What I could do actually is I could take these out and this out and put in a Puppeteer if I wanted to on heal, so that it helps heal the, Dr. Skull and heal the units all in general. Actually, I think I have to do that. That sounds like a really good idea. Actually, can I do it? Hold on. I need to figure this out. Okay, this snotter here. Can I pull it through the wall by just using the Dr. Skull? It looks like I can. Okay, cool. That's what I wanted. Because I need the one extra snotter here, so that it actually can't be skipped. So I'll have the two snotters right here. I'll have the puppeteer. It's Dr. Skull, puppeteer. Right in there. That should work. So then we have this healing puppeteer. Now, the only thing I would like is to delay this as much as possible. And now that I'm looking at this, I kind of want to speed up the Dr. Skull, if I can, and this guy. So, let's see how much I can do that. He's kind of got to be right there. Okay, and we'll just put this guy, behind him somewhere. Maybe delay it with just one turn like that. Okay, so that should delay it as much as possible. I don't want to delay it too much, so I'll have to do a test of it really quick. Probably after I end the video, I'll do a test of my cast just to make sure everything's working, do some final tweaks, and then for the next part you guys will see kind of everything working as a whole. I'll go over all the tweaks that I made, or if I remember them, and we'll do a couple of replays. Alright, so now what I have to be aware of is if they decide to push past this, right? So I have a couple things accounted for. If they do this, and they just pull back to here and wait for the spiders, they either have to kill the spiders in this dead zone over in here, or they have to get hit by a bunch of damage from the spiders, take a bunch of, their little pouncing damage, and then they'll end up dying over here. Spiders probably won't come into play if they die over here. I don't think the Dr. Skull will ever get to that point. So what we hope is that they're in this general area through this choke when they die. Then you have this where they're going to kill, and you're probably going to wait around this corner here. The Dr. Skull's going to come around to this point, and hopefully if they continue waiting for them, he'll start resurrecting the spiders that have died over here. But what I have to also take into account is if he rushes past this and gets into this aggro zone to kind of engage the Dr. Skull before he reaches dead bodies, basically. I also need to make sure that the Dr. Skull is on raising hell, this one. Yeah. This guy's on heal, okay. So I have to have something that's kind of scary right here, that you should always kill before a Dr. Skull. So I'm thinking probably a Stairmaster, just have to do it. I actually saw a group in another castle when I was farming that I want to try. It was like a Stairmaster, a Hungerbot. It was really weird. There was a Smelly Warrior that I don't even think I have any of. I don't even know if it's not even upgraded. My Smelly Warriors aren't upgraded. I'm not going to use that. We'll do a Battering Ram instead. Just some trash mobs that were actually... they did well against me. It was surprising. We'll do a second one of these. Alright, and then I could actually... no, I think that's okay. They're a little bit too clumped together. I have to make it so that they kind of spread apart a little bit. So basically I have this guy where he's going to have a turn delay. This guy's going to just run straight forward, so he'll separate. And then these guys will separate because they have different facings as well. Hopefully that'll work properly. We'll have this guy run straight towards it as well. The Snotter is just pointless there, but we'll keep it in just because. Alright. I think this room will work, at least somewhat how I want it to. I'll give it a test. Maybe at the end of this video I'll run through my castle really quickly, but we'll see. I'm pretty tired, so I might just test certain parts of it tonight, and then test it again when I wake up. Because it's like 3:30 in the morning or something right now when I'm recording this. I want to get this castle done before the competition starts. I saved it to the last minute. Alright. This is done. Okay, so where's the next room that we want to do something with? This could be a spike trap, but it won't work with this rotating cannon trap here. So, and also, a spike trap will have like this box, but it won't go out to the edges like this rotating cannon trap will, so that works well. Let's just keep this in, and we're gonna do a group here. I could do Mr. Boom Boom pull through here. which is kind of silly. Mr. Boom Booms aren't really amazing, but they're super tanky, right? So they're just kind of annoying to deal with. Or actually, it wouldn't be a pull through this. I have to think about where we are right now. The guy's coming up through here. I usually don't work the back from the back of my castle forward, so the pull would be here. Mr. Boom Boom would come around this way. I don't think I want to do that. Let's think about, like, as he's coming around this corner, I can probably do something. Everything, whenever I think about whatever I need to do in this castle, it's always like Stairmasters come to mind. I feel like this castle's going to have a ton of Stairmasters. I could do a Webmaster here if I wanted to. How many points does that leave? We'll do a Webmaster and a Stairmaster. The Defendatron on it. Defendatron on it. Something like this. Give that a try. They aggro this, they'll probably come back to here and fight it. It might be they get pounced on into this fire. Stairmaster could work. One thing I have to worry about is this angle up here isn't really cut good enough. I don't want to put that up there. Let's move these guys back a little bit. This is a better option. Something like that. Stairmaster movement speed? Very slow or slow? Very slow. Fine. Okay, this is good. The next group will be somewhere in this general area as they're entering around this corner. Yeah. When working with these fire traps, you don't really want to use anything but the like Stairmasters and stuff like that. You don't really want to use Cyclopses here, I don't think. On charge, at least, because it's better when you use them on charge against this. Like, I think I'll probably use a Cyclops in here with the Zeke. Might be good. That's probably one of the different groups I'm going to throw in. Honestly, it's going to be a Stairmaster fest in this castle. It's just all I can really think of using for the most part. Especially, like, I kind of want to use Smelly Warriors now, because they don't get one-shot volleyed anymore, and they have a decent chance of, like, doing damage, right? Not really a decent chance, but it does about 500 damage for 4 points, which is okay. It's like either take 500 points of damage from the Smelly Warrior or take 500 points of damage. Actually, my Smelly Warrior is upgraded. Well, then never mind, I'm going to use it. Let's put a group of this in here, then. I want to try it out. Let's throw in one of these. Just can't move over 1Y. I want that to move over a hex, so we're going to do that. Alright. So let's try this out. There's also like a dampener, I think, in this group. How many points do I have left? 7. Okay, I remember. There's a healer, I believe. I had a little bit of trouble, and I'm not sure if it was because I was tired, or if because I was, it was actually a good group now, so. And then 4 points left? Yeah, a battering ram, I think, was the other unit in here. And when I went to volley it, because normally that's what I would always do, the battering ram just kind of ran at me, and I had to dodge that, and then the Hungerbot threw his pinball, and I had to dodge that, and then the Smelly Warrior at the same time was like up next to me getting ready for a swing, and I like had to dodge that as well, and then I was getting silenced, and everything was getting healed while I was dodging everything, because like as you drop a volley, this guy starts running, this guy's throwing a hook, this guy's getting ready to run up on you and try to swing at you. You can't really finish off these mobs that you just volleyed. You just damaged them all. You want to finish them off with a couple auto attacks, but you can't because you have to dodge everything. If you don't dodge everything, you get bashed back into this fire. They're going to get healed anyway, and it actually worked out pretty well for the group, so that's what I want to try out. So basically, He's going to get to here. Here. Let's move this guy back 1 square just to make sure that that angle's covered. We want Smelly Warrior and the Battering Ram to run out first. This guy's a little slower, so we lead him a little bit farther in. Dampener seems a little bit far away. The Puppeteer also seems slightly far away. Do something like this. Okay. I think that's what we'll try. Puppeteer, we don't want him to get caught in the volley. He's the only one in this group that can get one-shot volleyed. So we actually want him to come in a little bit later. All of these other guys can survive a volley. I think the Dampener is like a coin flip based on their crit chance. Because I've had ones that I kill him with a volley and ones that he's like, you know, 2/3 dead. Alright, so we'll try that. That's something different that we can throw in. Now, what else? What's the next group that we have? This is going to be a Cyclops, I think I said. We'll give it a try. Why not? So Cyclops here. Zeke behind it. Although, you don't really have enough enough stun time to really get the Zeke shot off anymore, so I'm not sure that it would even be worthwhile. I might put the Zeke on Spread Eagle, to be honest. I don't know. And then we'll have those there. And push this one up 1. But I can't push this one up 1. That's okay. If Zeke's on headshot, he doesn't really need to be this far back. He can be on like the side of here, or even all the way up here. But that would connect to that group, so we'd have to put him like right there. The only thing I'd be worried about is possibly a headshot from here into my Cyclops. That's probably going to happen more times than not. There's also a possibility of a volley over the wall, or over the spike trap. But I don't know. See, that's why I wanted to put a Stairmaster here, because it doesn't matter if a Stairmaster gets pulled over the spike trap, because then you just have to fight him in the next zone. That's why I wanted to use Stairmasters a lot in this castle, because regardless of where you pull the Stairmasters in this room, you have to fight it in a small zone, right? You can pull this group of Stairmasters back to here, you have this zone to fight it in. You can pull this Stairmaster group back to here, you have this zone to fight it in. It doesn't really matter where you fight them in. So I'm gonna just do that. Obviously the volley can put a little bit of damage on the Defendatrons, but not a ton. We want these guys to be up against the wall as well, because that makes it a little harder for this angle to work for them. They get to this point, they can kind of come up to here. Maybe they get a shot on that. And I can make it even harder if I throw in some mines to block it off a little bit. Where would I throw those mines in? Yeah, I guess I can't really put one in where I want it to be, but I can put one here, which is fine. Put one here. It just kind of blocks a little bit more room that they would have. I don't know, we can do something like that, it's okay. I'm actually going to put these guys out a little bit more, because you can't headshot them. And so I really don't care if you pull the group. As long as they can't headshot the Defendatron, I don't care at all if you pull this group back to here. So that's pretty good. Alright. I have to put something inside of here as well. If that affects it, I might have to switch it around a little bit. I think this is going to be another Stairmaster group, though. I could do something like a Cyclops or a Scorpio. I've seen that before. To put a Scorpio in here, you have to pull it through the wall like this. So I would have to do something like Scorpio, Snotter, 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 like that or something. I could do the same thing with Cyclopses, except they're on charge and you have two Cyclopses on each side. So you have one that you're fighting here and then one that flanks you and pushes you. And basically that's just to, you know, get more spike trap damage. If I'm here, which side do I go to? I go to the top side. Because I'm looking here, I want to go to the top side so I have more vision. So, do I want them to fight the Scorpio head on? Yeah, I think so. It's easier to figure out. I'm just trying to do things that aren't Stairmasters, because I know how repetitive this castle's going to get. So we do like a Stairmaster there, or I mean a Snotter here, so that as soon as they step onto this trap, they get bashed back on top of it, hit the wall, and take a little extra damage. That's the idea. I have 4 points left. I think that another thing that could be difficult to deal with, silence or battering ram. I think battering ram. They have actually the longest stun now, I think, is battering rams. Do I not have any more? Let's just summon one. Alright, I'll put it inside of this little thing here, and then I could actually get rid of one of these Snotters, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so we'll try that. But this one over here is definitely going to be a Stairmaster group. Alright, this group and this room, I believe, is completely done. Like, I don't think that there's anything that I can put inside of this area right here. It's too wide open. That will be useful, unless it's something that's just super tanky. We'll see if I have to put something in there, eventually. Alright, I put in enough variety. We're just going crazy Stairmaster mode, I think, at this point. How many Stairmasters do I have left? Only one. I may have to farm at least a little bit more, or sell a little bit more, to finish this castle. But you guys are kind of getting the idea of what I'm going for. Now this is one situation that I'm a little bit confused on what exactly I want to do. I think I want it so that they cannot pull this across the wall, or across the spike trap. At all. Can I move this at all? No, because if they can slide inside of here, then they can aggro this. See, what I want is so that they are definitely crossing over this, because I don't want them to pull back to here. I want them to fight inside of here, because this is kind of a bigger zone, and there's no trap, there's no pressure back here. So I need them to cross over the trap twice, or fight it in this zone, I think. So I'll have to do some testing on this one here. Alright, and then Defendatrons. I'll need another Stairmaster there whenever I get some Life Force. Actually, I think I have enough to buy at least one Stairmaster here. How much are they? 11,000, yeah. This one has to be pulled back a little bit, though. And this one might need to go back a hex as well. Just as long as the aggro circle's on the edge of this spike trap, it should be fine. Nobody's going to stand on a spike trap and try to aggro something. They'll stand maybe one square on top of it, but they usually still get hit by one spike, and that's okay. As long as they get hit by one, take up the spike trap, and then have to go back, they have to cross over it again, that's good. Okay. How much room do I have? I still have 100 points left. I might have to put some more groups in areas where I didn't really want to put them initially, but that's alright, I guess. Okay, I really do need Stairmasters at this point. Let's see. I'm gonna sell 2 Mr. Boom Booms. That's 2 Stairmasters. I'm going to sell my Stab Assassin and my Vamps. Because over the course of a week, I'll be able to loot these mines and pretty much buy whatever I need to buy. It's just when you rebuild a castle, and I also did some upgrading earlier. Some researches that took up some of my life force. Alright, I have enough for 5 Stairmasters now. Ish. I could get rid of some of these squidlies as well. They're 2,000 apiece. Not like I'm really going to use those. I'll get rid of all of them actually. Okay, that should be plenty. Alright, so again we have to do Stairmasters here. Now we want Stairmasters on the outside. Stairmaster on the outside. The only bad thing about this is that you fight them at different intervals. I don't know that there's any way to change that though. Yeah, I don't think you can put 2 groups side by side inside of here, or else that would be probably the best way of doing it. Oh, okay. We need Defendatrons. I don't know if you guys can tell this, but I'm getting quite tired. Defendotrons. I'm in my summoning portal, that's why they're not at the bottom. Defendatron, alright, cool. Can't quite fit it in there, let's just rearrange it a little bit. I think these guys have to be sideways inside of here. Yeah, like that. That way they'll pull across. I need to have this out just slightly here. One more square. And this guy can come out 1 square like that. But then they're not linked together, so I'm gonna have to have one of them closer like that. Okay. That might be skippable though. This one definitely isn't. But this one might be, so let's just move it over like that. That way it's not at all. And I'll just double check to make sure that these guys actually link together. Mainly this one over here. I have to make sure that they're linked before the fight starts, or else this would be super easy. Alright. Another group can be in here somewhere. Alright, what could this be? This could be something different, I think. Because where you're going to be fighting this is right in here. I could do one of these groups again, the random unit group. That doesn't make any sense, but somehow it might work. I like that type of group. I could use just battering rams. I could do like 2 battering rams. Let's do that. 2 battering rams. Let's do a hunger bot because they're pretty good. And let's do a smelly warrior because they're awful, but for some reason I'm gonna put it in my castle. Didn't I just have like a bunch of smelly warriors? I have a Jimbo. There it is. How many points does this give me left? Only 2. Can I get rid of one of these snotters and put maybe a centralized guy right like here? That could work. I don't mind as much if they pull it here. I'm hoping that they'll take a tick of this damage, hit this guy, pull back to here, then they can take extra ticks of damage here, and maybe take some, fire damage when they're fighting inside of this zone. That's the idea, at least. Alright, so I have three points for a puppeteer. That can go, I guess, on this side. Something like that. Alright. I have a couple groups that I still need to throw into my castle somewhere, and I'm not really sure where I'm going to put them. Mainly this dead zone is probably an area that I need to put one in. Which I can. It's not the biggest deal in the world. I just need to figure out exactly what I want to do. Maybe something with the spike trap. You have this spike trap here, you're going to have vision. At this point you can go down into here, have vision. I need to put a group up in here. I don't know, the choke is so bad. What if I move this down? Does that make anything better? Not really. I mean, it makes... Let's see. I need to have enough of it so that it's a threat. Something like that. It makes this group a little bit better. I don't know if it'll make this, but we'll do something with it. Let's see what we can do. So this Snotter can easily be pulled if you shoot it here on this bottom side, which I think a lot of people are going to do that. Alright, I can't do that. When I can put this all the way down here. But that makes this less of a threat. You can just kind of walk or jump over this really easily. But I think that's okay. Like, people aren't going to be able to time it out that easily to get over this spike trap. And even if you do, like, you have to think about what people are actually going to do. If you engage this group, are you really going to jump over this spike trap here quickly to get away from them? You're going to pull another group more times than not, and you will pull another group right here. So I have to kind of be aware of that off chance that they do what I'm talking about, but I don't think it's a big deal. And then when they're coming over this trap, the only thing I really care about is that they get over it and they have to come back over it again. It might be less dangerous, but it's okay. Alright, so this is about as close as I can get to that, which is a little bit of a problem. I can lower this down, and it still works fine. Yeah, that should still work okay. Actually no, maybe not. I think that that headshot is actually a thing now. I have to move it up one tick at least. Alright, this guy can still move down a little bit. Which is what we're going for. That's about the best I can make it, and then we can have a Cyclops. And then a Zeke. I think that's about the best that I can do. I do have one more point. Don't think there's much I can do with it though. We'll just leave it like that. Okay. Then we'll do another group here, I guess. Is there any other good spots that I could put a group? Not really. I can put one on the top side of this boss room, but it's no better than here. It's just a wide open space, so... I could put like a Mr. Boom Boom somewhere. Not sure where I would put it though. I think this castle's just not gonna have a Mr. Boom Boom. Okay. What do I want to put here? It's a wide open room. I kind of wanted to do something with a Jimbo. It's not bad that it's in a wide open room if I use the specialization I was thinking of. There was a castle that I had before that I played, somebody's castle, that had a Jimbo, and basically he just got an attack speed buff on him, and he was on the personal bubble specialization, And he did about 500 damage a hit, and he was quick, because he had attack speed. So that's what we have to go for. Could even do like 2 bad dogs to make sure it happens, but I think that's a little excessive. I could do a Defendatron, but I think I'll do a Bone Puppeteer as well, just instead. Maybe. See, because Jimbos are pretty quick, so with this wide open space, if they kite long enough, the Defendatron will unlink. I think that's what will happen, so yeah, Puppeteer is probably best. Okay. We have room for one more group. I feel like I'm missing a room or something. Like, my castle is pretty packed full. I think another group could fit in here somewhere, but how would I do that? Yeah, see, I like where everything is right now. I don't want to screw it up. This room also only has one group, and then there's this bridge here that now it has 2 groups, but it only had 1 before. Maybe I can tighten this group up, put it maybe both to one side, and then have a secondary group here. I could do something like that, yeah. Let's see. That should be like there. So that cuts that, and then I could go through the wall. I think it might have one Mr. Boom Boom in it. Just because, why not? Something like that, and then Mr. Boom Boom. Just seems to work right here. It's at the start of the castle, so even if he doesn't do any damage to you, because he's kind of bad now, he'll still be tanky and just take some time up. And even if he drops a health globe, it doesn't matter. It's kind of the idea, at least. I mean, I could put a Puppeteer in there for whatever reason. At least I think I could. That or an attack speed buffed Mr. Boom Boom, that would be kind of ridiculous. If I put a bad dog in there, but that wouldn't really work, so. And then I just need to have this guy kind of more out in the open. Or as close as he can be, I guess. More times than not, they're probably just all gonna focus the Puppeteer down, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Alright, then I only have 4 points left. I think that's okay. Looks like a castle to me. I don't know about you guys. This is probably an extremely long part, and I'm exhausted. Maybe Boss Room could have something. It's got 2 points left. Might as well throw in the 2 Snouters. No. Spider. I've upgraded my spiders. It has a possibility of slowing someone. It could help. Let's throw in a spider. Just off to the side somewhere. There. Okay. That's my castle. Let's see how it does tomorrow during the competition. Hopefully it does alright. I'm exhausted, so I'm going to end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. And I will get back with another part for, you know, replays and basically all the stuff that I tweak throughout the competition, because I guarantee I'm going to. So, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.